What up?
What up? I didn't know you were going to bring me right up. I would have put my phone
I
down.
don't do many live streams, so I don't really have I guess a way of doing it. I kind of just jump right into it.
I can tell.
At least you were clothed. I'm glad you put stuff on.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, it's hard to have this much awesome on one screen. So, hello everybody
I agree.
on the side.
So Sandra, hello.
Sandy's here.
You were actually in my TikTok live, so I appreciate you coming over there.
Oh,
The aristocrat,
Chris Smith.
Chris Smith.
I think I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah, I don't know. Give him the government name. What up, Snark?
Snark.
So,
Thanks, Sandy. I shared it too, just in case you fell asleep or something. So you got Rob in chill mode tonight. It's weird.
I don't know what that means.
It means I'm just chilling on the couch. I'm not up in the
That's true.
studio.
So it's a different scene for you.
Different scene. The lighting's not quite as good, but like I said, this is a lot of awesome on one screen. So I should dim it down a little so that you look better.
I don't know. I've watched a couple streams where they're kind of in the dark, so you can do it.
Okay.
You're not the least lit I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I'm lit, not lit, unlit. I'm not calling you out, Sandy. Yeah. So this is last minute. Ryan was like, "Hey, you want to jump on with me?" And I was like, "Let's jump, bro."
Yeah, I literally decided while I was going to get pizza, I'm like, I'm gonna do like a YouTube live tonight, and just Nick and I were talking about doing them more, but every time we decide that we're gonna do it, something comes up, and I'm like, I'm kind of I don't have any videos to edit at the moment. We're going Saturday to shoot our next video, but I was like, I might as well be productive with my time. And I was like, I'll do a live.
Doing lives is fun.
So
Live.
Just hit you up and like, yeah, you want to hop on here real quick?
Yeah, it works. Yeah, so get this, right? So for those on the side, so I've been, I'm hurt, right? I hurt myself back earlier this month. And so I'm in physical therapy now. So I go, shut up. So I go to...
You can hop on, Castro. Let me know.
Oh, God.
We're going to get in trouble.
I go to physical therapy today. And I got to do like all these little weird exercises and the hand bike and all this stuff, right? And so when they get you on the table, there's one big room with two tables. And then there's what they call the office. It's a smaller room with one table. And they stick you in there and, you got to do your exercises, right? While you wait for them to come in, and they come in and then do their thing. So I'm laying on this table on my back, and there's a door that leads into another room next door. And I hear the doorknob, right? I look over and I see the doorknob is down because it's not like a round knob. It's a lever.
Yeah, the lever ones.
And I look at it, the door clicks open and swings open, and there's a family sitting in there on the other side of the room looking at me. Like, I opened the door, but I'm laying on the table. So everybody's confused. And, you get that feeling. Like, I just had the vibe. And I'm like, what is happening right now? So I get up. Damn. He ain't give me no stickers.
Yo, I appreciate it, Castro.
bruh.
I think I'm gonna get a hug before you. That's what's gonna happen.
There better, yeah. There better never be a hug for you. Like I got an AI hugs with this guy.
Nah, I'm gonna get a real one.
So I get up
Thank you,
and
thank
like I
you.
shut the door and I test it. And I sit and I go back and sit on the table, and then the doctor comes in and I'm looking at him. I'm like, hey. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, you're like weird ghost shit happening here. It was 2:22 p.m.
Okay.
Because I looked at my phone.
With the twos, yep.
He's like, why are you asking me that? And I'm like, because I just want. I was like, I gotta know. He's like, yeah. He's like, it really creeps the staff out. He's like, we have doors open, and then we hear footsteps upstairs at night. He's like, and the other doctor came in. He's like, what are you guys talking about? Because that guy knows that I do the ghost stuff. I'm like, dude, that door. He's like, I don't want to know. Then all the ladies that work there came in because they're like, did you have it happen? I'm like, that freaking door just opened. I watched the doorknob come down. I called Mike actually on the way home from there to tell him that story. It was crazy. So they're like, it gets worse at night. They said when they first moved in there, it was worse. He's like, but now it's like died down. I'm like,
Do they know, like, is there a history to this place?
I don't know. It is in an older building in Allentown. But it's kind of like a row homes that they converted into offices. So who knows? But I do know there's a big ass, one of the oldest cemeteries at least in Allentown is like 2 blocks from there. But man, it was cool. Like you don't get a lot of doors opening, but physical doorknob moved. Like I'm looking at, there was a little kid in there with the mom and they're looking at me like I did it. And I'm just, oh yeah. Danny's hearing this for the first time. So I'm just like, what is happening? So anyway, that was like really cool bonus after getting, batted around by these chiropractors and shit. So anyway, fun. So maybe we'll get to go there.
Yeah, that would be a really cool spot to hold a Get Haunted event at a chiropractic office.
Well, I wouldn't do an event there. Like, forget it. Nah, it's not the best neighborhood either. But
okay. Well,
yeah, like I ain't lugging all my shit around.
That'd be funny. But let's tell them what we've kind of been talking about behind the scenes with what this whole live is about. And I just want to show Castro's comment right here too. Now you're bought and paid for too.
Yeah,
so
I want to be bought and paid for.
Well, I'm sure that'll be a thing. So screenshot it now, everybody.
Screenshot.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is sort of, to me at least, and it's something you, Sarah have talked about a few times in the past, for a different kind of project that hopefully we'll announce sooner rather than later. But this, I think, is the first step to it. I know for me personally, I get a lot of, I don't know why people reach out to me about this, because I do not understand algorithms and YouTube. Clearly, all you got to do is look at my subscription stats, right? But I know people that do, right? And you're one of them. So, when you came to, and now we had talked about putting together sort of like a crash course in, so you want to start a YouTube channel, right? And I think that's kind of what this is. So, I think a lot of people and teams, and and it's not just to create content like the way you guys do. If you have a team, and you're looking to get more viewership or more, if you want Mike Castro on your channel, throwing you $50 stickers. How do you get yourself out there? What are the steps? What are the challenges? What are the, the things that you, Ryan, have encountered along the way? What kind of equipment do you really need? to a fault. I'm a buy once, cry once guy. It's just why I have stupid cameras and stuff that I just don't use anymore. And lights and all these fun things. But, I think for people that already have an established channel that might be struggling a little bit to up their numbers, because you guys really have blown up in the last, since what, May? I think we talked about this. May.
Yeah, it was when we met you at the White Hill Expo.
Okay.
It was like our next video was I think over 4,000 some views or something like that.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's because of me. I'm just saying
Rob did it.
But you guys have really kind of amped it up. Danny's blow drying her hair. Can you hear that?
A little bit. It's fine.
You guys have really kind of grown a lot in the last year or so, taking that, and it wasn't easy, I would assume, right? But you seem to have figured out how to navigate the challenges and understanding algorithms and this and that. Like, I do love talking to you about this stuff. So we wanted to put together sort of a crash course in content creation and how to maximize your efforts and everything from how you guys go about an investigation and how you document it. So one thing for me that I always admired about Paranormal Theory is you've always got cameras running, always. And I remember early on you sending me footage, like when your shirt got.
Yeah, that was from the Norwich State Hospital in the lobotomy room. I sent you that. I think I sent that to you at like 11 p.m. and you were about to fall asleep and you're like, dude, I can't sleep now.
It's you and Mike. Mike does that shit too. It'll be midnight and all of a sudden I'll get something. But I remembered when you sent that, right? And you weren't supposed to be like, that wasn't during your filming piece.
No.
You just were rolling cameras constantly. And that's how you get the good stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot that we even had a camera running because I told Nick, I'm like, it was a couple investigations before that. I'm like, we had things happen when the cameras weren't on and it was starting to get frustrating because you're obviously there to document activity and, it creates good content, obviously. And I'm like, we're running cameras from the moment we walk in to the moment we're in the truck. When we're in the truck, that's when I'll shut the cameras off. Yeah. So we were talking about something that happened before that. And I forgot that there was a camera in the corner of the room and I just so happened to be standing in front of it when it happened. And I'm like, my shirt just got yanked and I just looked to my left and I see the red light on the camera and I'm like, I think we have that. And we did.
Well, yeah. So when you sent that over, like now I'm invested in it and I'm zooming it and I'm and like for me, look, the way that shirt gets lifted, it doesn't just get pulled out, right? It gets lifted, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. I was just like, this is fantastic. But yeah, and if Chris is still watching, I think Chris could, I think this could be a really cool series of things that we can put together. Sorry, Sarah's messaging me. There's work I have to do that I totally forgot about.
No, but we'll get into the nitty gritty. And what are we gonna do? Like 2 weeks or around that time?
Yeah, sorry.
Chris is still here.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. So we'll do this first one, but I think this is a stepping, a launch pad for something a little bit bigger and a little more in depth. And we can kind of get the ball rolling with this, but call it, I don't know if you want to call it a master class, but a best practices, what's your method, which isn't the only method out there. I know, Chris is an amazing producer and content creator. I'd love to get input from everybody at some point to build a library of tools that people can can use to better their videos and better their further their reach and grow their audiences. Clearly, I need to, right? But it's not really my gig, right? That for me is it's less important. But like I was on with Hunger Nights the other night, team out of Greece. They had like 500 people watching. Like it was, I was like, Jesus Christ, how do you guys get that much?
And I think that's something like we'll definitely hammer home is people, and it happens to me even now. It's like imposter syndrome, where it's like you have a video that does really well, say like, for a smaller channel like us, anything over like 2,000 or near 2,000 views, like that's a really good video. That's almost half of the subscribers. So you get like a case of imposter syndrome and you're like, can I really do this? And it's like, yeah, you can. And there's an audience for everybody. It's just
absolutely
doing the work, repetition, and learning from people. Like I was hurt for a year from work, so that whole year, that's what people don't understand. I just went on YouTube and just studied how people edit, and just from Premiere Pro to CapCut, Filmora, whatever, any kind of software. But that's what it takes, is because like you can go on like another content's or another creator's page, watch their stuff and be like, hey, I really like how they did this, and they kind of made the audience feel this way. So then you look up how they did it, like how to do this transition. And every video you get better and better and better. And it's just about staying consistent and, like you said, best practices.
Yeah. And I think it'll be helpful, right? Because I have had other friends that have channels that they sort of maybe plateaued, right? And they just don't understand how to break through that barrier. How do they get to the next level, right? So, I think by offering something, right, and it's very, very affordable too, right? Because there'll be a small fee for it, but offering, this kind of kickoff class and offering some one-on-one time with somebody that has, put the time, money, effort, and has had some kind of, a fair amount of success with it, to share their insights and to share their thoughts about, what worked for them. That was always sort of the intent of Get Haunted. Even when wanted to do something like this for locations, right, and for other teams, where, how did you guys grow? Like, how did Hunger Nights grow? They're like, I'm like, Jesus, man, 500 people watching alive to me is astounding. But yeah, I think this is going to be cool and beneficial for a lot of people. And it's sort of, again, it's going to be the launch pad for something else that we'll all announce together one day, hopefully soon. We're a little bit behind on things, but yeah, I'd say in the next 2 weeks or so, and we're just going to we got to figure out the right date and time. Now that event season's kind of kicking off, it's going to be a little bit harder to find something that works for everybody, but we're going to make it happen. And to get personal kind of one-on-one Q&A style is also very important.
Yeah, that's the and that's kind of what I came to you about, because we've been talking about this like general idea for a while now. But the one-on-one thing was something that I wanted to do, and I thought of you guys, and I'm like, okay, this will be perfect. Like, I think this is where we can kind of start this project at. And I've had multiple people, content creators, and even people who aren't in the paranormal, like, come to me and they're like, hey, like, what camera do you use? Like, how does your footage look so clear? What are you doing with your audio? And I've noticed, just in the short year that I've been on YouTube, is that it's very hard to get the answers from the creators. It almost feels like gate kept, which is kind of weird, because it's like, it's not YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world behind Google, who owns YouTube. So I don't know why people feel like their audience is going to get stolen, because it's not that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's what it's all about, but I hear you, and trust me, it's like, people keep things close to their chest, right? And it's like, why? So I think it's cool. I think it's great that you're willing to share. And I've always said to people, like, your time is money, right? And that's why, you got to charge a fee for this. It's a small fee. Plus it helps keep your channel running. None of this shit's free. That's what a lot of people don't understand, is that, I had it today. Somebody made a comment on our main page about our cheapest event, by the way. He's like, too high. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know if you've ever been to an event. I know he hasn't. I'm like, but your opinion might be different if you were there. If you actually went to one. But they'll say this, and they'll speak without having any actual intimate knowledge of what actually happens at an event, or while you're making a YouTube video, or afterwards, or the amount of equipment and time that you need to put in, so people can sit and watch your content, and the money that you guys put into it. Getting to a location isn't free at all. Not even close. So yeah, I think this is going to be cool. We'll get it launched up here in the next 2 weeks or so, as sort of the first piece of a series on that, and we're going to actually touch on some other things too, other topics with other people. So you guys will see what's coming real soon. But I'm excited to do this with you. I think Sarah and I will be there. Well, not as information providers, at least in the YouTube realm, but as moderators and as people that can pose questions too. I know Sarah's, Paranormally Blonde's she's at that plateau point, right? And we know, is it the day she goes live? Is it the content we're creating? Like, who knows? But it's a different genre. But so hopefully we can glean some tips out of there as well.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't just have to be for a content creator. Like, I want to make sure we hammer home that point. It's like really any business owner, because social media is, in my opinion, the biggest and best way to share your business, in the world now.
Yeah. You must have the same internet provider as Sarah.
No, that's definitely you, because I never lag.
You're choppy.
Am I?
Have been. I don't know if people on the side are noticing it. Maybe it's me. Rarely am I at fault for anything.
Well, I'll just add it to the list of things that you've done.
Yeah, look, social media is great. We love it. Shut up, Mike.
See?
Is it me?
I don't know.
Is he being serious? You never know with him.
Chat, am I freezing up, or is it just Rob seeing me?
You're on my PC. You're.
That's what we're trying to figure out, though.
Because if it is my problem, then I owe Sarah a huge. But I've had people confirm.
No, I've seen. That's why I call her Elsa, because she freezes a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you get for having a super sticker. But yeah, I'm excited to do it. Hopefully we can get a decent turnout for you. I can, off the top of my head, think of probably 6, 7, 8 people right away that will want to do this. My Chromebook's upstairs. I actually run.
Do you really have one from 2009?
I have one. I run one of my lasers off of it. It's because it's you don't need a beast. All right, Mike.
I didn't even know it's still supported.
Yeah. Well, so that laser it's It's a Chinese laser that you have to like Windows won't even recognize it. So I
Yeah.
need that Chromebook. I needed it for that.
But that'll be another thing we talk about is what do you need to properly edit footage?
Yeah. So, you know, I even try, like I have a ZenBook Pro here. So I can do simple stuff right on this laptop. You know, that's why I got it. So I was running Premiere and it's got a dual screen, you know, it's got a screen over the keyboard so you can have your editing toolbars at the bottom and have your video up top. And this was great 2 years ago. Now it's like Adobe Premiere 2025 chokes this thing.
Have you been having issues with exporting with 2025?
Only one time, because it's actually the work Sarah is reminding me of that I got to have done here, because I have to make Joe's video tonight. But only one time did I have an issue exporting. Sometimes I have problems with it. Well, with 2025 for some reason too, I can't open a project that was started in 2024. Don't know.
Yeah, I've run into that, and that's why I was asking. Is I went on Reddit, and a lot of people are having problems with the 2025 version.
Okay.
Which is why we put our video up late, is because it kept failing, and it would fail at 100%.
Yeah.
How frustrating that is.
I know. I've been down that road. My good rig upstairs, my desktop, that I got and again, back then it was like a $2,000, the NVIDIA beast. Like it's a GPU that's about, it's like it looks like a dictionary. I had to put special brackets in because otherwise it was sad. But, that one I have had no problems with, but I don't use it that much. But I just reconfigured up there, so I'm going to get back to editing. It's why I don't have a 2025 intro yet, which I got to get done. So it becomes important. The GPU, the RAM, all that fun shit.
Yeah, so I need to upgrade my processor, because I am currently doing all of this on an i5, which I didn't think was possible, but it is. Perfect world, I want an i9, but if I go i9, I have to change power supply, motherboard. I'll be able to keep the graphics card. It's a 3080, so I'll be able to keep that, but I'm just going to have to buy a whole new computer or make a whole new computer. If I go i7, I might be able to get away with it, but we'll see.
Yeah. So all this stuff we can talk about. Hopefully people showing interest. And again, this won't be the only topic. We're gonna delve into some other topics down the road, but I think this is a great start. It is one of the most, I don't know why, but people reach out to me, but one of the most common requests I get as like a friend is people are like, hey, how can I do this? I'm like, I usually tell them to go find you.
Is that why I get an influx of messages about this?
What's that?
Is this why I get an influx of messages about this?
It could be. So I mean, you can do that, or you can get yourself my DR60, my one DR60 that I'm getting, that I'm going to get rid of.
Well, you said you're selling it for 600, right?
Yeah, no, that's what everybody wants me to do. That's what they want. It's funny. Oh, so yeah, no.
I think Castro said he would buy it for $650.
He should.
That helps.
He should. He owes me a lot of money.
Huge fan of the DR60, I think, right?
He loves the DR60. Mike been asking for one for a long time.
Well, you have multiple, so
I do.
Sell them.
I do. I'll throw in a box of. Never mind.
Yeah, this is my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I forgot.
This video is going to be reported.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm on it. It's that Rob.
Rob. I don't know. We might make a video just from being on a video together. so that could always be a thing.
That's true. Here, we'll change my name. The Rob. There we go.
The Rob.
The one and only. Yeah, so hopefully y'all join. We'll get that launched maybe over the weekend. We'll pick a proper date and time, and we'll put it out there, and we'll kick it off and see who shows up. It'll be good.
Sweet. All right. I know that you have work to do.
Yeah.
I have to be up at 5:30 for work, so I just wanted to stop in and let people know kind of what we're up to. And thanks for hopping on last minute.
My pleasure. I was sitting here just, answering questions, and then you reached out. So here we are.
Yeah, and thank you, Mike, for the super sticker. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, that was very nice of him.
That will be going towards future content. We have some places that we are planning on going to, so that'll definitely help.
Well, if he sends you 50 more of those, you can get the DR60.
Wait, you're selling the DR60 for $100? Oh, you mean like, okay, yeah, per stick. I got you.
All right, Mike. It's the rare DR60 too. It's a Japanese version. You want it. You
put it on eBay, someone's going to buy it.
Oh, I know. I just don't feel like dealing with eBay.
That's the when I've looked to buy them, that's the only place I've ever found them.
It is the only place, right? So, I did. I wanted to give the network, people on the network, stop it. People on the network, first crack, because, they're my friends. They're good people.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to afford their mortgage for 2 months.
Stop. Don't say that.
Those things are expensive, man. That's why we don't have one yet.
Yeah. Shit. All right. Let me go get this video done. My video for someone else, because I forgot about it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me. Chat. Thank you. Castro. Thank you. MVP. I'll take that as a hug before Rob got his. So I'll make sure I remember that.
He tenses up when I go in for the hug, and then he hits me. Like he'll like.
Well, I remember at the Warren Con, he gave you a leg kick, and you complained about it the whole time.
For days, I was hurt for hours. He's not a nice person.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Okay.
But all right, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Pieces. Adios. Hasta luego.